Welcome to the Daily Shift. You heard that right. The Daily Shift. The show where we block out the noise and speak truth, train your mind, and help you become the absolute best version of yourself. Leo and Andrew are on their way. You're in the right place. And while you're here, take a breath. We're about to dive in. The show starts in 30 seconds. You ready? Take a deep breath in and breathe it out. Prepare for your shift.
Hello and welcome to this beautiful Tuesday Live. How's everybody feeling today? Type in the chat. How's the energy? How's the flow? All right, we got some exciting news. I'm going to dive right in, share with you exciting news. We are revamping the show, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Today, I have a very special topic I'm going to be covering. I'm going to be giving you some strategies that I used when I was starting to find opportunity and strategies I also use now to find opportunity. But before we dive into that, I want you to know, for those of you who are listening to the show on either the live or the replay, please type it in the chat, or I'm going to come back and be reading all the comments after the live as well. So if you're watching the replay, make sure you're typing it in even on the replay, but what you want to hear from us. We are laying out a tentative schedule for starting next week, and this is what it is. So get ready to really make a quantum leap. That's what this show is about. Show is about helping you get to the next level, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, every single way. Something I've happened to have been doing for the last 11 years is real estate investing. Single family, multi-trailer parks, you name it, I've probably done it. And something that I'm very excited about is the portfolio investing that we're doing. So I'm going to share that a little bit about that with you. Get my thoughts ahead of my words. So starting next week, based on your votes, and please keep them coming in of topics or flow that you want to see, we are contemplating starting a Monday motivation where Leo and I come on and give you heavy hitting, fast, action-packed motivation for the week ahead, coming off the heels of the weekend. We're contemplating doing Tuesday podcast, Transformation Podcast, where we interview one of our community members and you hear a perspective from another business owner, another person who is out in the market succeeding. Wednesdays, real estate, live. Maybe I'll call your deals, our deals, other deals, talk about real estate, structures, lenders, buyers, sellers, all sorts of cool stuff. Keep getting the request for Bible study. Multiple people reached out asking for that. So we are considering next week starting doing a Bible study on Thursdays. So that way you can pick the day of the week or days of the week you want to show up and be a part, depending on what topics we're talking about. And then Fridays, the weekend wealth strategies to get your business up and running. All right, so put in the chats, keep it flowing. Let me know what you want to see more of, both here on the live today and on the replay for those of you who might come back and watch this later. Thank you for being here. We're going to dive in. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, or a yes in the chat. We're going to dive in, and I want to talk a little bit about finding opportunity, because there's two types of people who struggle with opportunity. The first type of people who struggle with opportunity are those who sees opportunity in everything, everywhere, all the time, and they get shiny object syndromed. That's a killer, because as soon as you go to anywhere, you start to drift to the next thing because opportunities are endless. And then you have the other type of person who struggles with opportunity, and that is the person who never sees opportunity. They only see the negative. Reminds me of the story I always heard growing up of the man who sent the shoe salesman to a different country. And the first sales rep who went to a different country, good to see you, Diane. Ahmed, what's up, brother? Excited to talk to you later today. Marlon, so nice to see you here, brother. So the shoe salesman goes to another country, and he calls his boss, and he says, hey, boss, I'm going to have to fly back home. He said, why? He said, there's no market here. He said, why is there no market there? He said, nobody wears shoes here. Hopped a flight, went back home, and the owner of the store said, I don't like to take no for an answer. So he sent another sales rep out there. And that sales rep gets there and calls him and says, hey, boss. He says, I'm going to need you to send me all the shoes that you have. And the guy says, really? What? Why such demand? He said, nobody here is wearing shoes yet. Perspective. That's the biggest thing I want to point out and start the show with today. Kyle, what's up, brother? Good to see you. It's going to be important that as you are looking for opportunity, that you start to look in that perspective. Your perspective changes everything. I want to challenge all of you, and we won't have time to deep dive into this today because today will be a pretty brief episode as I'm continuing to prepare for new outlays and keep the votes coming in. But I want to empower and encourage you to shift from a consumer mindset to a producer mindset. Now, the news media is poised every single day. Their whole job is to keep people in a turmoil and emotionally reacting. Headline after headline after headline. This is bad news. That's bad news. Something else happened. Can't believe the president did this. Can you believe this happened? All of this negative news in order to cause you to consume it so they can get more advertisers and so they can whole other thing there without me going down the rabbit holes. Shift from consumer view of fear and reaction to every single thing you see to a producer view. You know, when I call and buy something, it excites me. I'm waiting to see what they're going to sell me next because I love to buy stuff and I'm excited to buy. Not just because I want the thing, but because I want to see how their process works, because those who sell good things. Those who sell good things serve well. The person who sold me my car served me. The person who sold me this house served me. The person who sold us everything that we have that we're glad we have served me. People who sold me a seminar, they served me. Everything that we buy, if it helps us be better, or if it's a useful thing, it's serving. So selling is serving. So go from a consumer, reactive and fearful, to a producer who is aligned and grateful. Doesn't mean we're not calculated, we're not realists. Doesn't mean we don't set ourselves up. Doesn't mean we don't invest well. I believe you should. In good times, invest well. It's a biblical principle too. But ask yourself, where's the problem and how can I solve it? People of wealth don't say, can I afford it? We ask, how can I afford it? We don't ask, what does it cost me? We ask, what can it make me? Where is the problem and how can I solve it? It's going to be important. Now, look for opportunities. There's two places to look for opportunities. If you're in the real estate investing business, as I know many of you who watch this are, or if you're not, if you're in another business altogether. What's up, Bill? Good to see you, brother. That is understanding that not only selling is serving, presenting the seller or the buyer with opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise had without you. But there's two places to find this. Let's take motivated sellers, for example, if you're a real estate investor. There's two places to find deals. The place where everybody's looking, right? If you hear everybody talking about probate lists, it's probably because it's a hot item and it's working. So I like to follow that track that everybody's doing, because if everybody's doing it, it's working for them. I'm going to jump in and see if it works for us. And then the other track I like to follow, that's what nobody's doing. Nobody's doing it because either A, they tried it and it didn't work, so there's a chance I fail at it, or B, they ain't thought of it yet. So if I can do the thing everybody's doing, and I can do the thing nobody's doing, I know that I'm putting the odds in my favor to almost always be winning. So look for opportunity where everyone's looking, and look for opportunity where no one's looking. Become unique. Add value to the marketplace. Ask, as Leo talks about a lot, unique personal questions, UPQs. Become a creative problem solver. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of notes of places I found opportunity in the beginning. Unlikely places. Meetups. Found opportunities in meetups. Found opportunities in networking, online and in person. Of course, in 2014, it was way more in person. I remember going to meetups. I remember going to a meetup where there would be 4 to 6 people a week show up. Or a month, excuse me. I would ask myself, is it worth going to? Because 4 to 6 new people, except some of those people I still am connected with to this day because I went to those meetups. So small number, except there was something. Some is better than none. More opportunity to do business with 5 people than with no people. So understand that you are constantly looking for opportunity. You're constantly putting yourself, type it in the chat, in TREs, in target-rich environments. If you put yourself consistently in TREs, in target-rich environments, you up your odds of success drastically. Put yourself in target-rich environments. How do you put yourself in target-rich environments? You can go to, of course, Eventbrite, meetup.com. You can go on Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups rather. You can go online. You can look, just ask people, start texting people in your area. Hey, when's the next meetup happening? Now, I share this because literally when you position yourself in rooms with other people that are target-rich environments, if you're in business and you're needing buyers, you're needing sellers, you're needing deals, you're needing funding, it's all going to happen because you was around people who had connects to make it happen. So put yourself in target-rich environments. I'm going to talk a lot more about this as we get used to the new outlay. We start offering this very predictable, consistent value in a way that I think you're going to love from the feedback we've been getting and the votes we've been getting and the messages we've been getting. But how do you consistently set yourself up for success? Something that I used to do is I will not get discouraged when stuff don't work. Now, doesn't mean we don't stop doing things that don't work. If something's not working, try a different way. It reminds me when I started, I would go put sticky notes on all the doors. I would go to every meetup. I would take every lunch appointment with every real estate investor I could find. I would put bandit signs out, business cards, car magnets. I would go to local restaurants or tire shops to ask them if I could put my business cards on their counter and pay them $500 if I bought a house. I started doing everything until I found the top 2 or 3 that worked. And then I leaned into what's working. The sooner you can lean into what's working and cut the things off that are not serving your growth, the faster, the better that life is going to go. So how do we find the target rich environments? How do we find opportunity? It's plain and simple. If you're taking notes, you can write it down. Find the problem, figure out how to solve it. One of my buddies, John, always says, I like solving rich people's problems because they pay better. Now, I think about this. It's one of the reasons I like real estate so well is because it's big tickets. I get to solve big problems. I get to solve $100, $200, $300, $400,000 problems because it's big tickets. And so you get paid in direct accordance with the size of the problem you solve. If you can give someone the opportunity to sell their house quickly, for example, and get them quick cash, great. That's one solution you can offer in the marketplace. Maybe they're behind on taxes. They get nothing without you, and they get something with you. Maybe you solve it by offering them creative financing, as we've done hundreds of times, and we buy the house and we pay them more money over time, and they agree to be the bank. All sorts of ways that we get to do this. I look at, if you're taking notes, and if you're not, just you'll remember this. This is a frame of thinking I want you to have, and that is that rich people run in when the bottom 99%, as far as wealth, run out. Rich people run in when the rest run out. What do I mean by that? When there's a market correction, when there is fear in the marketplace, the masses spread and sell and become fearful. And the people of wealth realize that that's the opportunity to make money. See, some people are upset that interest rates are rising. I'm not saying I like that interest rates are rising. I like them being low. And I see opportunity for many billions of dollars of loans that are sitting out there at 2, 3, and 4%. You realize that 23% of loans on properties are currently below 3% interest, the data shows. That means that 23% of mortgaged properties that I talk to, sellers I talk to, come back with a loan that is below 3%. That means it starts with a 2. Now, I don't know about you, but picking up a few $100,000 even or $1 million of debt at 2-point-something% interest in this market, whoa. That's what people of wealth do. We find the opportunity and start providing a solution. We find the hang up, the challenge, what everybody else is complaining about on the news. Look at it from the other way, because I guarantee you almost always there's an opportunity to solve a problem. There's two things we can do. We can sit around, complain about the problem. If I had my choices, rates would be lower. And I don't control interest rates. So what do? I figure out how to position myself in the marketplace to win and to help others win. Because when I make money, when you make money, when we win, we get to all win together. Look for opportunity. Position yourself in those places consistently. You're going to see opportunities. You know, the more you hang out here, you listen to this show, we're hanging out together, you're hopping in and you're hearing the various topics we cover. Sometimes, that red car effect starts to kick in. And before you go, oh my gosh, yeah, rates are high. Gosh, it's tough to get ahead. You have these negative programs, and I don't want to put that on you if you don't. So don't own that. But I used to have those negative programs. Except when we realize, wait a second, there's a different way to play the game, and I can start playing it differently. If I think differently, if I act differently, I can start to get a different result. There's always going to be a reason not to succeed. The same people that were, and I'll say this very generally, very loosely, the same people that were complaining in 2008 were complaining in 2010 about waiting, were complaining in 2020 are the same people that in 2020 were waiting for the market to go down to buy, are the same people in 2025 complaining rates are high. People complain or winners win. Maybe I should say losers complain and winners win, if that's not too harsh. Why do I say that? Because we have the opportunity to either get better, say, okay, there are people winning in this market. Can't we all agree that there are people absolutely winning in today's market? Whether you're in info business, whether you're in real estate business, whether you're in the mortgage business, whether you're in appraisal business, whether you're in coaching or self-development or what would you call it? Personal training. Any business that you're in, you see people who are winning. And so either we become the person who can also win, or we accept the fate and accept that it's not going to work and make excuses. My prayer for you as we hang out here in coming days, weeks, and months is that you start to see, not only from mine and Leo's perspective, because I want you to see that too, and we love hanging out with you guys, but from guest perspectives that we start having on Tuesdays on the pod. Maybe we'll even do some other guests. But that you start seeing the perspectives, those additional perspectives, and say, whoa, we are surrounded by opportunity. And if you're one of the shiny object syndrome people, that you start to narrow your focus and say, okay, what is the item that gets me closer to my desired result, to live my mission more fully, to be able to give back in the way that I'm called to and live life like I was meant to. And if you're one of the people who has been affected or have been around negative people who have a downward look on the economy and a downward look on life and a downward look about politics and a downward look about everything, that you could pop out of that and say, you know what, I'm going to do different. I'm going to start acting as if doing the things that a millionaire would do so that I can create a similar result. There's a lot more I can cover on that, but I think that is enough. You're going to want to go back and re-listen to this episode again. I'm going to get back to prepping some more things. We have a lot more deals in the works and a lot more prep in the works, because coming up next week, we're restructuring the schedule. Type in the comment the things you want to hear more about, even after, if you're watching the replay. Thank you for being here with us. Type it in the comments. Keep the feedback coming in, because as we go, we're going to try this new topic, Motivation Mondays, this new outlay per day of the week for at least 4 weeks, and see how the flow goes, see how you guys love it. Keep the votes coming in, because as we scale this daily show, I want it to be a place where you can show up, you can bring your friends, and you can know that you're going to get closer to your desired result. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's a beautiful Tuesday. I am blessed and grateful. I just got my second root canal of the month. So hopefully root canals are good for a very long time. No more needed. And odd things happen. We can't make life treat us the way we want it to, but we can choose how we react to it. My prayer for each of you is that you make it a successful Tuesday. And I'm excited to see you tomorrow at the same place and same time. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now.